put your kids to sleep.
You dig?
We say fuck a lot.
Potty Mouth Potty Podcast in the building. We getting into that starter section, side A. Let's go.
Hey, one goal, one thing, one rule, man, that shit don't change. It's certain. Real niggas do real fucking things. Real niggas do. Hey, there's only one goal, one thing, one rule, man, that shit don't change. And it's certain. Real niggas do real fucking things. Real niggas do real fucking things.
First up in the starter section.
All right. What's going on? Oh,
Nathaniel Woods situation.
Yes, a
all right,
lynching.
Nate Woods. Yeah, he got a lethal injection.
Nathaniel Woods was present when 3 police officers were killed in Birmingham in 2004. But it was another man who pulled the trigger. That man, Kerry Spencer, is also on death row, but he's yet to be executed for the crime. Outside Woods' prison before the execution, his sister held up a page from his trial transcript. She says it shows he was surrendering when the shots rang out. Relatives of officers Harley Chisholm, Carlos Owen, and Charles Bennett watched Woods die. Bennett's widow spoke afterward.
This will never, ever bring closure, and it certainly won't bring Rob, Carlos, or Harley back.
Woods died just after 9 o'clock last night without offering any last words.
Yeah, how were you put to death? I don't understand the story when it says another man admitted to pulling. There's so many questions here. It doesn't make any sense to me.
And that's why so many people were objecting.
Yeah, it's very upsetting.
The death penalty is too much for us. Even though there's a lot of people that do these heinous things. And I often say on this podcast, I'm not against torture. But as far as the actual death penalty, hey, call me a hypocrite. But it's just, like you said, the finality of it.
Because once you kill somebody, it's over.
It's over.
New evidence might come out years later, whenever later, you know what I'm saying?
Come on.
But the thing with this case right here, when I was reading it and going into depth about what happened, I was like, because I believe this happened in what?
Alabama.
Alabama, right. And
racist as Alabama.
when I broke down how the case went down and how the 3 officers got killed.
By a whole other nigga.
And it's a whole other nigga. But I understand law-wise, not saying right or wrong. I understand how the game of chess is played in the law court of
Bring it down.
Yeah, how him being there was on a warrant looking for him, and he was connected with the drug dealers that he was slinging this shit with, and though he surrendered, put his hands up, didn't fire any weapon. By him being in association and in the same atmosphere in the house, it's almost like he's part of like a conspiracy to have these cops murdered. Because though there was no like overthought plan. There is a sense of, well, he was selling drugs, right? Like all this, everything that led to this moment, these cops getting killed, you played a part in it.
And I will say this.
You know what I'm saying? Now, that's the game they flip. Now, I'm not saying it's not right or wrong. That's just the game.
And that's why I'm going to, the law is wrong.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why.
Niggas had, oh, yeah.
You know,
it's fucked up.
And that's why we can't. But that's what I'm saying.
Let us breathe.
I don't think it's ever too late. When someone may be innocent, to review all of the information
let
to
me
make
just
sure.
stop you there. You said maybe. You've also said very likely innocent, and you've also said appears to have been strongly mishandled by the courts. There's a lot of ifs in there, Martin.
So your question is what?
I want to know what evidence you have to say that he is innocent.
I just told you the gentleman who said he did the killing himself, and Nathaniel was not involved.
And the prosecutors say that
I'm not a lawyer, so I cannot debate you on those issues. All we can look at is the facts. If a person is innocent, they should not be killed in this country. People have been killed and hung for doing nothing. And in this context, if that is the prospect, we ought to at least go through the facts, go through the information, give the system an opportunity to work if it did not work.
Okay, let's keep it on this case.
Unfortunately, the system does not work for African Americans and poor people over and over again.
That's my biggest problem with the system and police a lot of times, and we said it often. A lot of them don't come with discernment. Yes. You feel me? And if we look at this, if we lead with discernment and we come with some empathy in the game of law and dealing with people's lives, especially something like a death penalty, son.
It's just too. I'm always about new evidence.
They have the fucking discernment. They just don't have it for us, son.
And that's the truth.
Is there a reason you're pulling me over, officer? Deep down in my head, I already know the reason. But I play along with this fucking game anyway. So once again, is there a reason that you stopped me, officer? But the only reply I get is, shut up and put your hands on the steering wheel. But officer, shut the fuck up and put your hands on the steering wheel. Now, is there any weapons in the car? Well, with all due respect, sir, I'm a little too young to carry a gun. I know you think all of us do, but shut the fuck up! Do you know who you're talking to, boy? Well, I thought I was talking to an officer of the law, one of whom all my tax dollars go to. One who is supposed to protect and serve and not manipulate and lie and steal and stereotype and kill and rape and take any opportunity to murder and imprison another black male. So once again, I ask, is there a reason you're stopping me, sir?
Like, I think anything with dealing with someone getting a lethal injection has to be a 12 out of 12.
They are throwing a book at him, son. Like, that is all it is.
I see
making this nigga an example, son.
No lethal injection, like we can't handle it. Like it goes back into like when we be talking about like in human nature, we're flawed. You know what I mean? Human beings are fucking flawed. So there's certain things like how we talk, sometimes we speak about religion. I'm like, dog, I'm looking at the Bible. They can't be, human beings can't be trusted to be in charge of any perfect thing because our flawed asses by nature will in fact infect the perfect thing. So if you think that the Bible is absolutely not flawed, you're tripping because humans have put our slimy hands on it and we fucked up what might have been divine at some point. Yeah. You feel me? I ain't saying it was never divine. I ain't saying they got no divinity inside of it. What I'm saying is
humans are flawed.
Our flawed asses saw that could be used as a weapon, and you cannot tell me that we did not weaponize it. So you have to have your own discernment when you read the shit. Correct. You hear me?
There's a woman down there being brutally assaulted.
Jeffrey, there's always someone being assaulted, or raped, or murdered. There's always someone suffering from a disease or dying in an accident. This stuff is nothing new, Jeffrey.
Couldn't you, I don't know, do something about it?
No.
Well, why the hell not?
Simple. I want my creation to be free, Jeffrey. True freedom of choice means having the ability to choose to do evil things. And diseases and accidents, they may seem bad, sure, but through these tribulations and hardships, people can become stronger. You can't appreciate the good without knowing the bad. I never give people more than they can handle.
You never give people more than they can handle?
Yep.
That's not really the case for everyone who has ever died, is it? Look, I'm not being absolute here. I'm not asking you to get rid of every evil and every hardship. But a little child who dies of cancer will never be stronger because of his tribulation. He will die because of it. It's pointless.
It's not pointless. It's a part of my plan.
Plan? I thought you were all about free will. And just what the hell is your plan? You, the wisest being in existence, can't figure out how to carry out your plan without requiring the deaths of innocent children? And I'm not even asking you to put a stop to all evil, but why do you allow evil that seems so pointless? Like what's happening to that woman and her son? What good will come of that? You could stop it. Effortlessly. You are omnipresent, which means you're in their presence, watching it happen. God Almighty himself is just standing there, watching it. Why won't you do something?
I told you, Jeffrey, free will.
If there was a way, if we had the science, if we had the technology, if we had some way of specifically and actually exactly knowing what happens to people after death, right? And you knew that wherever they go after death is worse than here, and that's the end. Oh, okay, we could do death penalty because I know for a fact they're going to suffer. You don't know what the fuck is happening. I know for a fact if you keep them alive, they're gonna suffer because I can visit their ass. Oh, that nigga still in jail? Oh, that nigga still not having that freedom. He fucked it up. That nigga being dead, for all I know, what reincarnation exists? Then you gave that nigga a fresh slate. You helped him out. Right. He was in a bad way in this life, and you just gave him a boom.
Really saying, all right, there's a real restart for you.
Yo,
what you just said was basically.
Yo, white man.
We have money.
With money.
Cliff, chill out, man. I ain't the one that even killed you. That was Booze, man. I got this motherfucker to bring you back, huh?
Yeah, and I intend to thank you for that.
Come on now, man. You got a body now, and he rich. Richer than a motherfucker, man. This a famous-ass white boy right here, man. Famous-ass nigga. Come on, you know what kind of life you about to be pimping now? Huh? Shit, as far as I'm concerned, look, you ain't got nothing to be mad about. Fuck. That's a good trade. Right?
You never cared about nobody in your life but yourself. All you cared about is power. Well, I'm gonna give you all the motherfucking power your greedy ass heart desires. How about 500 volts?
As human beings, we would literally have to solve the mystery of life in order to essentially have the right to take it.
It only makes sense. It only makes sense, dog. So when we see, like you said, it's a public lynching, we got niggas like Dylan Roof still running out here. We got the white chick who shot a nigga in his fucking house and she getting 10 fucking years.
I was scared.
10 fucking years and she point blank period killed that man.
And had all the discernment in the world.
My G.
You could have called for help on your radio, and you could have had the cavalry there in 2 minutes.
I could have.
You could have had SWAT mobilized.
They could have.
And had you done any one of those things, Mr. Jean would probably be alive today. Right?
Yes, sir.
Now, apparently, there was no evidence he fired the weapon, but prosecutors argued that he conspired with the gunman. Meanwhile, there's another man, the confessed shooter, who says he acted alone and that Woods is, quote, 100% innocent.
How, Sway? Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man.
That law is based on human emotion, in my opinion, dog. Because it has no sense of what is going to benefit to actual society. It's just based on all right, dog. You took their family out and they want blood, so we got to give them blood. Mm-hmm. And that's just it's so barbaric.
Arcane. It's old school.
Yeah,
it's very old school.
It's so archaic.
It's archaic.
And it's so fucking medieval. But it's something that we really should let go of, because the thing about life, especially in America, is that we have evolved so much technology-wise, but spiritually and mentally, we are still set back in so many distant ways. It's like we evolved technology only to encourage our old beliefs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because we gotta weaponize everything. But my question is this here. What do we fucking do?
They say go into the vote. You know what I mean? And that's the most classic thing of almost somebody I put up there, I was talking about this on Facebook about how it's so unfortunate that Congress is so old and they don't got no term limits on it, no age limits on their shit, and so we just keep having these same regimes and same mind states remaining in power. And even we look at who running for office right now, it's two old ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Two old white men.
You're talking about one of the biggest flaws in the whole
fucking system. But the deal is this. The other side of it is this: old people vote.
Yeah, they do. They get
young people don't. Young people talk. Old people vote.
I think young people are voting more now.
But it's not on this grand rise. It's just a slight bump. Somebody got me to get this. Show me stats. It's a slight bump, and it's not consistent whatsoever. You feel me? Sucks. And so generally speaking, dog, the fact that young don't vote, old keep old in office, and
secondly, I don't vote because I believe if you vote, you have no right to complain. People like to twist that around. I know. They say, well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But where's the logic in that? If you vote, and you elect dishonest, incompetent people, and they get into office and screw everything up, well, you are responsible for what they have done. You caused the problem. You voted them in. You have no right to complain. I, on the other hand, who did not vote, who, in fact, did not even leave the house on election day, am in no way responsible for what these people have done and have every right to complain as loud as I want about the mess you created that I had nothing to do with. So I know that a little later on this year you're going to have another one of those really swell presidential elections that you like so much. You'll enjoy yourselves. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure as soon as the election is over, your country will improve immediately. As for me, I'll be home on that day doing essentially the same thing as you. The only difference is when I get finished masturbating, I'm going to have a little something to show for it, folks. Thank you very much.
Overall, we really just need some young blood in the whole system.
Young blood, like colored blood, melanated blood, gay blood, options.
Yeah, like we need just more options.
We need more than old white men, though.
Right, we need more than old white men and women in office and running.
We even had old white women.
They got some old white women, you'd be surprised.
I'm talking about presidency.
Not presidency, but he's in them chairs.
I mean, there's some chairs. That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All
women.
these old motherfuckers, keep some, because you do need some for wisdom. I understand that and experience. I ain't trying to be ageist.
All of them been in that chair for 20, 30 years. And all of them been like with them same laws. They've been kicking for since the 60s and shit.
And you're making legislature and rules and creating a world that you won't even live to see.
Hey, one goal, one thing, one rule, man, that shit don't change. It's certain. Real niggas do real fucking things. Real niggas do. Hey, there's only one goal, one thing, one rule, man, that shit don't change. And it's certain. Real niggas do real fucking things. Real niggas do real fucking things.